Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where your location is. This is Li Chang from Service Manager and the team. I will be the host of today's session. So today's session is regarding an important feature introduced since Service Manager 962 release, a new solution of the information retrieval functionality. So next, I will hand over to our product owner Yolanda to elaborate the details and improvement with you. Yolanda?
Yeah, hello everyone. I hope you can see my desktop. Welcome to join the Service Manager User Group lively monthly meeting. Um, sorry. So in this meeting, um, there will be three types of the meetings. First one is the feature spotlight. This will include some deep dive of SM and SMA, mainly the use mixed mode capabilities, including best practices and demos and tips. Also, there will be a release readiness sessions, which is quarterly review for upcoming release for implementation and the technical considerations. And also, the third type of this meeting is the office hours. This will be a open session for users to ask questions and engage with product experts and peers. From this year, the feature spotlight and the release readiness are combined to use one registration link in this link, and there will also be a SM user group topic page with this link. There will be some the calendars of topics and the recordings for previous topics. There will be some issues for the downloadable calendar appointments from the registration confirmation. So from this downloads, it only download the first appointment in the series. So our recommendation to you is to create a recurring calendar appointment to block your calendar. And please check this link every 2 weeks for any cancellation or changes. And you can also download the next meeting appointment from the reminders, which will be sent a week in advance. There is also this is a link summary for the user group meetings. We have a community page, including the user discussions and the learns using this link. And the user group main page, including the topics of the monthly meeting and also the recordings here in this link. The user group registrations, including release readiness registration link, is using this link. And except for the EMEA and the AMS sessions for release readiness, we also have APJ release readiness sessions. The recordings are listed here. Okay, so now we are going to our today's topic, the IR expert deep dive. I will go through these four topics in today's session. Firstly, I will introduce what is IR expert. IR expert is a intelligent concept-based information retrieval engine that can search the service manager database for similar or related information based on a natural language query. For example, you can rely on exact matching keywords to find incident in the incident management table. But you can also use the Service Manager IR Expert engine to locate the similar um, incidents via the IR key fields. There are three main aspects for the IR Expert: uh, IR key, IR search engine, and the text search with the stop words. IR key is it can concatenate several fields in one IR key, and this IR key are used to be indexed by the IR expert. IR expert also requires a specific query to process against the target file uh, that is a plain text query. Will return a recorded list to contain related records. So also the stop word list is a list of terms that can be ignored when the search engine is searching or indexing. Here is this picture shows the IR expert evolution. Um, Before the Service Manager 962, we have all the IR expert, including the searching engine in the Service Manager. So there are several pain points for using the old or legacy the IR expert. Firstly, when people do IR regen, it will take a long time and also consumes a lot of shared memory. It will also generate high network load on JGroups. The changes on the IR keys can only be take effect after manually regen the IR key in the dpdict. Also, there are local text files to maintain the stop words. And all these stop words, if you do any changes on this stop word, you will have to stop the SM and restart it, or SM server and restart it, so that the new edit or remove the stop word can take effect. So starting from 962, we start to use the native full text searching feature in the database to do the IR search. The native full text searching feature in RDBMS will bring us a rapid search uh, based on a pre-processed document in the RDBMS. That will also reduce the configuration efforts by the service manager administrators. Also, we will not use the shared memory to do IR regen and IR search. This will also reduce some network load on JGroups. And start from the Service Manager 963, we start to use the database to maintain the stop word. And but this mechanism will require a very high user privilege for the SMDB user. So this triggers another refactor during the Service Manager 970. So we can now manage the IR stop word in SM GUI, and this can reduce required database user privilege. And but this only works on the MS SQL and Oracle database. Um, you can also have this document to see the comparison between the legacy IR solution and the new IR expert solution. So as I described just now, there are two areas that we do the refactor in the past. One is IR search engine, and the other one is IR stop word. So we firstly check the search engine. So we now support 3 databases to do the IR search: SQL Server, Oracle, and PostgreSQL. For Microsoft SQL Server, we leverage the full text search component. This component is an optional during the SQL Server database engine installation. So if you did not select full text search when you install SQL Server, you can run SQL Server setup again to edit. The installation process does not require a shutdown for your SQL Server database engine. Regarding Oracle, we will need some additional privilege for SM database user. For the first one is to have a execution permission to the CTX DDL. And the second one is to the select of privilege to the DBA scheduler jobs, and also need to create job need to grant create a job privilege to SM database user. And with the new IR solution, we reduced the IR parameters from 20 more to 5 as in below table. So this IR disable parameter is used to control whether you want to use IR expert or not. IR language, the default value for IR language parameter is English. It defines the language of the text that you want information retrieval to do the index. IR pending second, this parameter is only applies to Oracle database. This determines the maximum pending period before an IR index gets synchronized after a base table is updated. And as you may know, the IR also we can do both IR query and the normal SQL query, and this IR SQL limit parameter determines how many records are fetched from a database in a combined IR and SQL query. And this is the default value. IR stop list. This parameter specifies your own stop list if you do not want to use the default database stop list. But start from the Service Manager 964 patch 1 and 970 version. Because Oracle and the SQL Server already use a GUI to manage the IR stop word. We do not require to set this IR stop list feature parameters, but this for PostgreSQL, since we still use the stop list in the PostgreSQL database, then the IR stop list is also still required for the PostgreSQL database. Okay, and with new IR solution, if a file or table has a defined IR key, the IR index will be updated automatically by the database itself. And the update record can be searched immediately. So we don't ever need this SMQIR process. So you can remove SMQIR from sm.configure file. And also there will be no IRQ table in the out of box. But so as we just discussed in the parameter table just now. PostgreSQL still requires the IR stop list parameter. And that is because when the PostgreSQL database owner is not the super user Postgres, and the SM parameter IR language is not English, the IR stop list in the PostgreSQL will still will maybe not applied correctly, and you might get unexpected search result. So we provided a workaround in this document to eliminate this issue, this limitation. So please check this document to apply the workaround if you are using the PostgreSQL. Okay, next pages we will discussing the IR index and IR searching. So the most important part here is the IR key. In one SM file, there should be only one IR key existing. So in dbdict, you can define more than one IR key for one table, but when you click on the save button, the two IR keys will be merged automatically. One IR key can be composed of one or more array or text field. So as you can see in this screenshot, this is a file name probe summary, and this file has one IR key defined, and in this IR key there are 4 fields to define one IR key, and this table is only system administrator can access. Okay, there is so the administration, the system administrator needed to do some actions when there is a IR key changes, or for example, when you're adding or removing a field from a IR key, or if you found the IR index is corruption, you need to do the IR regen. You can do IR regen on a single table. To do this, you need to go to the dbdict and searching for the table, and go to the more menu and check if you have a IR key defined already. And then you go to the more menu and run this regen IR and click the yes button, and you will the IR key will regenerate for this specific table. If you want to apply the IR keys to all tables, you need to perform a IR regen command using the SM upgrade IR. And to run this command, you will need to shut down the SM server first. So after defined all the IR keys and also regenerated the IR keys indexes, we can start to searching the to use IR expert to do the searching. So where to do to enter the IR searching? There are some examples. For example, if you go to the service desk or incident management menu, then you can go to the service desk interaction queue and go to search and go to the text search tab. You can do the IR search. Also, if you go to the service catalog module, or a ESS user go to the order from catalog or non-card catalog requests menu, you can also do the IR search. For IR search, we have two types. One is all of these words, and the other is any of these words. So um, for example, if you entered web browser accounts in the search text field of the incident search form, if you select all of these words option, this will only search for incident records whose description or title field contains web browser hunts, all of these three words. And if you select any of these words option, this will select this will search description or title field which contains web or browser or hunts, three words. Uh, and you can also search, click on select below two options. One is search only these words, and the other is also search related words to do the searching. So here are some examples. So when you either end user or IT agent or system administrator, they can do the order from service catalog. So when you go to the order from catalog and enter, for example, printer and LAN uh, in the searching field, and select any of these words. Click on search. You will see these four items listed in the results panel. All uh, includes the network, includes the LAN, or some records will include the printer but not LAN. Okay. Uh, so if you use the same search keywords and uh, select on this all of these words, um, you will search out only two records, which must including both the printer and LAN in the printer and LAN in the description fields. The text search, uh, this tab can also um, do the IR searching, but for this one, it only applies to IT agent or a system administrator. Um, Here you can use a, a table called incident and go to the text search. Now you can enter the keyword like a printer and network. And if you search for records that contains all of your search keywords, um, this is the results of the keyword searching. So you will see these two records also have both have the printer, and network um, in the records. So it's related with title and the description. Okay. Next, if you use the same table and searching for any of these words, and select this search only these words, you will see this many of the records. It will be um, you will see that in this records there will have printing or printer, and also have this network information. Especially for this records, you will see the network is shown in the description field. Okay. So this is the IR searching part. So next one, I will introduce the IR stop word, which is newly introduced in the Service Manager 970. The stop list, a stop word list is a list of terms that can be ignored when the search engine is searching or indexing. Typically, the stop word list includes short and common words or prepositions such as the, or with in the English. However, they also may include longer words, such as long number strings or words that are too common to be used for as search targets, such as the term internet. Um, so we have this new manage IR stop words table introduced in this 9.70 version. Mm, it's including you can do the search new modify and delete to this IR stop word table. It is out of box table. And you can also do IR synchronize uh, actions based on this IR stop word. Um, and in the 970 SM970 out of box, we provided a English version of the stop word. Um, this this IR stop word also can be applied to the old application versions. So when the customer upgrade the binaries to SM970, but their applications is still on, for example, SM950, they can import this unload files, which enables the IR stop list management tool and the English stop words using this unload. And also they can use this IR stop list database language unload to import the non-English languages. For Oracle, they only need to import the one unload for non-English stop words. But for SQL Server, the unload will be separated for different languages. To enter the manage IR stop word um, form, there are two entries. The first one is you can use a database manager and select for table IR stop word to enter the manage IR stop word UI. You can also go to tailoring menu and the tailoring tools and go to the IR stop words to enter the IR stop word management UI. So the UI is look like this one. You can do the search based on these three fields. The database is reading from, this is a read-only field, and it's read from the sm.ini file. If there is a SQL dictionary mentioned in the sm.ini, the database will read that value. And for language, there will be a IR language parameters set in sm.ini. If there is no such parameter, the default value is English. You can do the search or add after after filling the stop word field. Okay, and after you click on the search button in this IR stop word record search form, you will see a form QBE list here like this. So you can do the update or delete or add new uh, stop word using this format. After you do the IR after you do the IR stop word changes, you can do IR synchronize using the more menu. So this page is mainly talking about the IR synchronize. So it's mainly on the IR stop word synchronize. To synchronize the stop word to using this IR synchronize button, it will synchronize the stop word to the RTE memory and also to your database. However, the IR index does not include the stop word changes. So if you can, you need to do the IR upgrade IR so that the new added stop word will be added into the SM's index database index. But if you do not do the index, uh, you can just use the new added stop word without restarting the SM server because the stop word already synced to the SM server's memory. And you can do the SM upgrade IR command at a maintenance window. And this is also the system administrator's activity to do this job. Okay, and for the users who are using the legacy this IR solution or use the uh, IR stop word starting from the SM933, they can use a migration tool to do the migration, to migrate the stop word they created in the database when they are using the Service Manager 963 and migrate it to the 970 into the out-of-box IR stop word table. So this is a link to the migration tool. And this tool also supports the SQL Server and Oracle database. Along with the migration tool, there are also several unloads which contains the stop words that are used commonly in the world. If you are using the Oracle, you can import IR stop list Oracle non-English unloads. And if you are using the SQL Server, you should import the unload file same as you specified in the IR language. For example, if you define IR language as a simplified Chinese in sm.ini file, then you should import unload with IR stop list SQL Server simplified the Chinese unload. Okay. So that's all for the IR solution. Do you have any questions? Let me see. We have some questions. Okay, I think most of the questions are answered. So KM stop word is not used anymore. KM stop word is another another modules, and actually I should say the KM module for solar is removed on the SM970, but for the SM970 we still have the KM module, and which is using the smart analytics. So the KM stop word is still used, and that is a different module. Okay, next question. What is the impact of these changes for those using SM portal? If the users using the SM portal and searching on the SM tables, which has the IR keys defined, they will automatically using this IR search. Okay, next one. Does IR expert actually, it should be expert, works in common with smart search? As if the IR again, if IR key is defined on the table, it will work.
Okay, so if there is not any further questions, so we are going to close today's session soon. So all of today's presented slide deck are already being uploaded, so you can download it. And should you have further questions, so you're welcome to reach to us, and we are happy to answer offline to you. Okay, so thank you everyone for your time. So have a nice day. Goodbye.
Thank you.